seeing a little bit of iceberg buying order on these lows here.
On gold, sorry, Hogue.
Yeah, in gold.
Iceberg buyers. Okay, iceberg buyers. Number in 5 minutes.
Oh.
What do you got, Eddie?
5 minutes remaining button.
We can do the same time. Hey.
All right, we got news here in 7 minutes.
We're in sync right now. Oh, wow. Dow. Turn that thing around. Put in new highs there.
Move it, baby.
Yep. Small waves.
Or 39,007. Hogue, you want to explain iceberg buyers? You got your index cards there? We've got about 4. Can you do it in 3 minutes?
Yeah,
Hogue?
sure.
Can you do it in 3 minutes?
How
Go
do you
one
get
shot
a
to
gorgeous
Johnny
wife?
here. Yeah, they're asking, what are iceberg buyers? He's talking about gold.
I think that's
the gold chart. You see it's selling off a little bit.
Best advice I can give you how to get a gorgeous wife is just to be funny.
An entity has 10,000 contracts to buy in the S&P.
Being funny.
If they put a 10,000 lot buy order in
it's definitely not the money, to be
honest. They're
honest.
going to tip their hand. So what they do is they put in random numbers automatically. They'll put
I started dating Victoria long before I had a Lambo.
As soon as
long
53
before I had
of those are filled, they'll put in another 18. And then as soon as those are mostly filled, they'll put in another 25. And then as soon as those are filled, they'll put in another 57.
I mean, you just got to be able to make a woman laugh.
They'll put in
make her laugh, but also be able to make her feel secure. Right?
So what they
women
do
want
is
they want a man. They don't want a boy.
They just replenish the bids. That's how we end up, seeing negative delta on higher days. Because if they move those bids,
it's
higher
absolutely
and higher
not the money.
The day, they're going to attract more shorter time frame
really
market order sellers.
Even
that's when we end up getting those.
When I've been poor and I've been broke for most of my life.
Squeezes in either
direction. I don't want to get all into it, but like let's just say I didn't spend a lot of time alone.
33.25 when
I was single, so
and we're getting
I don't think it has anything to do with the money.
I don't know if the downside is done yet, but at least there's the hint of possibly some longer time frame buyers.
And the funny part is, I still dress. I dress the same way that I did when I was poor.
Yeah, that's the iceberg.
And I
they have a big package,
do pretty much the same shit.
Piece the orders in a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, and sometimes you'll have an entity that'll have. It's
hard to be funny when
you're broke.
All-day
order where they're just going to be buying all day, and they keep putting in.
I used to barely be able to pay my rent,
and end up getting the short time frame
and
short.
My bank account would be on negative
in the
every
opposite
month.
Direction if they're sellers. So it's just a way for an entity that has a lot of
except for the
contracts to trade that day.
I mean,
to hide their
activities.
Matter.
Is that what you used to do, Vogue, on the floor?
Yes.
I lived in a crack shack in Hawaii.
What's the biggest order size you got to Bill?
Y'all got to get on my level. Everybody, they forget where I came from. They forget.
For a whole day.
People are forgetting where I used to live at.
The big S&P.
I think everybody's getting a little, a little jaded.
Yeah,
they ain't remembering where I came from.
Those commissions, my man.
Fucking wooden
steak that night, man. Hell.
Yep.
And trust me.
Yeah, we used to do that too, Hogue, because when you're spreading, you don't want to be hit or lifted.
If those wooden walls
too much
could
at once to get ahead,
talk,
so you would just feed it in at some pre-designed clip that you decided what it was, and then reload.
Stories.
That's why that's where people would need to be your friend to get a little bit of information.
All right, NASDAQ still just kind of grinding higher. I'm gonna wait till this news comes out before I put another trade on. Fucking A. I'm like, I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
How did I? Oh God.
Push it higher here. All right, real quick.
NASDAQ
pop quiz
is just
time.
ripping.
Pop quiz.
I was long.
Sure,
850
we hook you up with a little something. It's not asking you what the tip of the week is. That is not the pop quiz today.
Still just going and going.
Eddie.
And going.
Hey, Eddie, the pop quiz is who was on
I only made
top
$10,000
quiz yesterday with Eddie. First one to answer.
All
eyes in the chat. First one to ansor. Reach out to you and
that sucks.
Hook you up with a little something. Dakota, you are not eligible to play.
Man. Silencio, por favor.
Was I right though?
No,
I didn't watch it.
You're not. You're not. There it is. Cena. Got it.
Amanda.
Well done. Quick to the draw.
Good job.
That's what you guys get for listening to me.
We got 3 minutes until this news comes out. NASDAQ is just absolutely on a tear right now. We've been riding the EMA up.
Well, yeah, but I have an hour lunch, so I was getting food.
Oh, no, Jose. It wasn't Bonnie. No.
1 minute.
You guys haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button.
1
you know
minute.
what to do. Blow
We'll
up
get the
like
tip the week
button,
after
baby.
this.
Let's go.
We'll get that to you. We got 1 minute till the numbers shouldn't be that wild. Although it wasn't. New home sales came in much better than expected. Month over month.
44 seconds. Well, what they're saying is 4.13. They're looking at 4.13 existing home sales prior 4.26. And the sales change. This might skew a bit here. We had a previous of a positive 4.2. They're looking at negative 3.05%.
Holy goddamn. Look at this thing right now. Just ripping.
20 seconds on these numbers.
Just ripping right now. Yesterday's high up there, 19. This is a key level, that 19,100 area.
54.40. Last trade, ES.
Right now, look at the hourly chart. Oh my god.
Oh, we are in Barron supply zone. We got a number here in about 5 seconds to see what happens. Eddie, all you, my man.
Okay, coming in here. Existing home sales 4.02. They were looking at 4.13, coming in at 4.02. The negative 3.5, even deeper. Negative 5.
I sold because I was
existing home sales change. There you have it. Back to you. Yeah,
all right, good stuff. Hey, Baron. All right, we're up in your supply zone. Buyers look strong. Keep moving up and to the right here. Anywhere from 040 up to 19,200. Last trade 19,060. 060. What are you looking for in this area?
All right, we got news here in 20 seconds.
Either we grind through this or we start to get a retrace. I don't want to short it though. I don't want to short it. I just want to find a retrace and get long. I just don't want to get long. Like it's kind of sketchy to get long up here, you know?
Hear you. Yeah. How deep of a pullback would you look for? You know, the same thing.
I would look for either pull back to the 0.5 or 0.618 fib, and then see if that lines up with an area.
Just said we're gonna.
Where we had big buyers on BOOKMAP.
Never pull back ever.
Check real quick.
That next pivot point, 19,100 to the upside there.
We've had strong buying all the way from 19,018 all the way up this entire rally.
Go all the way.
About the same size volume for each of these buyers. So nothing really standing out to me as a big active buyer. But if we do start to get a retrace, see a lot of selling pressure and market doesn't continue to move lower, that's the entry.
You? Jack?
I'm okay with shorting this. If we could get up to those 130s and show some type of 3-bar reversal or rejection of those highs.
It's a wild move.
Yeah, I'm kind of with code on that one.
Thursdays.
Short.
It's just
Darth Vader.
Get the wildest of
This
wildest.
isn't
Up there to the number 2
This isn't a
now.
no trade zone though, because it's so strong. You don't want to
50% of the opening range plotted on the chart.
So then you don't want to buy it.
See how it pushed all the way up there now to the 70.
Overextended the right word? I don't know.
70s there.
To me, this is like. It could just grind all the way through this.
Here, though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of what's in my head. It's tough to short unless you see strong displacement, and then you get a nice retest. I'd prefer to either just wait for the strong displacement to the downside, see a retest, enter on the retest, or just wait for it to retrace, get in at the fib for long.
Yeah. Look at this 5-minute chart. All green candle. Starting from 8-10. How many in a row?
Come on, NASDAQ. Don't do this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish. Well, what time is it?
Yeah.
It's about 6 of them at least.
Yesterday's high.
Yeah. Right? 3, 4, 5,
I mean, that 19,100 area, I guess.
This is the 11th candle on the 5-minute chart of just green. Just pushing.
We are getting big selling at these highs.
Yeah, I took a heat check short 5 MES from 38.
This is the third sign of selling that we've had since like 8:50 Central. So first sign of selling in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, Jack, you're short. I like that trade.
It doesn't always indicate that they'll get rewarded for this plane.
Counter, it's low probability.
Got to get a pullback here.
Where's your stop?
Right now, I just threw one in there. A little bit beyond the highs of the day, but I think I might move it down below that to tighten this up.
Got to
I'm
be a
looking for
little
the way
bit
that this
micro
market can run
pullback,
stops
something, you know,
before
touchdown
going
at
lower.
least to like
Because
into
there's
one of
gonna be a lot
these
of people
EMAs, you know, give me a
myself
little
included.
micro pullback
What's the tip
here,
of the week?
NASDAQ.
Oh, funny you ask. Funny you ask. What is the tip of the week?
Just a
Eddie,
little
take
bit.
it away.
Yes.
What is the tip of the week?
Tip of the week is leverage the power of trends. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Leverage that power because you know what? It does help. Institutional behavior. I'm going to tell you about this one. Now, institutions often drive and ride trends.
Little pullback
and
here.
following them puts you on the same side of the trade. So keep an eye on that. Also, risk management is easier with clear trend structure. Traders can see markets, smarter stops and targets. Also, reduces over trading. Now, waiting for a trend confirmation also helps avoid impulsive high frequency losses. And the last one I've got here for you, history repeats itself. Yes, we know that. Trends tend to persist due to the reoccurring market psychology, making them a powerful edge when recognizing earlier. So leverage.
Let's go, Dimitri.
The power of trends.
Getting the $1,800 payout. $1,800 payout. Let's go.
They did not on Tuesday, and it smacked me. It gave me. You guys see it, and but there is something to be said to selling these extremes. I want to see if we could run stock on where the most pain is. I mean, I don't know if we're going to run all the way up to 170.
Do I think the Nasdaq's going to trade to the 20s? I don't know. That pivot
Right
point
above
there,
that,
the 18,100s,
Eddie hit it.
sitting right there. Really tap that first before.
We got Waller coming in here talking about it's not likely that by July there will be a clear tariff impact yet. Waller kicking in here just out of nowhere once again.
Where the hell is this
wouldn't surprise me to see more layoffs and higher unemployment. He also says smaller tariffs will have the modest pass-through, and we need better
Hulk
control.
Hogan ripping levels.
So these are some of the comments off the wire here right
on the
now.
Nasdaq right now.
Not on the schedule.
Yeah, I'll wait for the next
Waller.
one. Looked like it was going to go for a second. We just lost $150.
Okay.
Trump's in Norway, right?
It has just
I'm
been an
saying
absolute
Norway.
face
There.
ripper today.
Schedule.
Maybe learning how to play chess.
With Carlson, what's his name?
Magnus,
Magnus.
yeah, man, the goat.
Yes, he is. Refuses to wear slacks in chess matches. Now wants to wear the blue
Made an
denims.
amazing
Now it's gonna
record, dude. He
rip.
went 9-0.
Now she's got to rip one more time.
last week.
It's pretty
Here
good.
comes the hundreds.
It's really damn good.
Good Lord.
Dakota, you're
yeah,
saying you got
so-
smacked by the trend on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was
Calling it.
Tuesday. I was shorting.
What's crazy is my chart right now. The 5-minute chart is just insane.
It was this gap. I was shorting this, right? Looking.
I guess
for
the
a
1-minute
Yeah.
chart's pretty crazy too. They're
And
all
it
crazy.
just went straight up, and then I tried another
Just
short,
straight
and
up.
it didn't work out. Yeah. So
Yeah, when you see whenever you see London and Asia trend together, typically it signals that New York will also trend with them. I rode that trend not all day. I wanted to ride it all day, but I called my friend. He was like, "You're up so much, you need to close the positions and go for a walk." And I was like, "That's valid."
19,100.
good friend. That is a friend you want to
Good
keep
call.
around.
Next.
You have to screenshot Dakota.
That's right up there
Good
into yesterday's
screenshot.
high.
70% long in the tilt in the equities.
Oh, see that as we continue to grind higher. Gold continue to sell off here. 33.16 recent lows put in there. They're about $2 higher right now, and we're seeing up and to the right, just grinding higher in the ES 54.44. In the ES 19,095 new highs
Rob's going
in
for a walk.
Nasdaq.
The
Dow
FOMO
Jones
walk.
buying as well. Crude just
Nothing
chopping
wrong with
around
taking a little FOMO walk
$62.78
sometimes,
a
you
barrel.
know?
There you go.
Feeling the
Thumbs
FOMO.
up.
Go for a walk.
Thumbs up.
Come back later.
Like, subscribe. Fire Waller, says Dr. Rahman. Why are we fire Waller? Waller's fired. Fired.
You want this market to go up, though.
You think that guy's
The
gonna? You
windows
think
to
the
the
guy
wall.
that said the market's gonna go down 3,000 points? Do you think he's gonna?
Look how strong
Pay
it
the
is.
$100,000
Another
bet?
5-minute green candles
no?
printing. No
Yesterday,
sellers.
somebody on the stream said the market was
Yeah,
gonna go
no
down
sellers
3,000
movement.
points over the next few days.
There's a tiny bit at that 19,072
What he said.
level and
I think he lied, boys.
19,060 level, and they didn't get any reward out of that. That's kind of why I want to be avoiding shorts right now, because there's too much buying and you're not seeing sellers get rewarded.
yet. Yeah,
Even though it's
we're
in
at
my
that level though. This is where we kind of started to see sellers step in yesterday. So now it's going to start to be a little bit more tempting. I need to see.
I mean, either
very
way,
solid
3,000 points
price
over a few
action,
days is a pretty
get in.
pretty
to this.
crazy
We still
idea
have
either way you look at it.
all
I
the way
mean,
up to
bearish or bullish. I
160s
mean,
on yesterday's, and then there's still that chance of just breaking out and blowing through that and
pushing higher. Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, I really do think this just grinds through the supply zone. Just based off the buying activity we're seeing. No sellers stepping up so far. I would possibly look for sellers up in the next zone. That's where we had the sell-off after the 12% jump. I think this zone will possibly hold. I'd like to see us push up into it. We've tapped at that zone twice so far and rejected strongly both times. So if we tap into that, possibly we see.
All right, we're right there at that pivot point now. I mean,
get a retrace, get long.
What are you gonna do? Look at this thing.
Or if we get sellers come in, get a nice little retest, I could go short on that as well.
Yeah, we're seeing some now, and it depends on your target, everyone. I mean, whether you're looking for 20 points, 30 points, 100 points, 200 points. Yeah, it definitely matters, because right now you can technically say that we are getting a nice 30-point.
I think if anything, I'm just extremely upset with myself because of how badly I managed
reversal
this
just happened
trade
on the
today.
5-minute. If we could stay and hold below these 170s.
Seems like we're really high and strong. We're still inside yesterday's
I'm
range.
really
in equities, Hogue.
Equities, yeah, S&Ps.
God, oh God.
Trade 19,000s yesterday. I don't remember.
That was it.
God,
that was it.
Right.
We were getting right up there.
Billy.
Above 19,144 was the high.
Okay, thank you.
It hurts.
Yep. Ooh, a 40.45.
I mean, I like the green market. I just.
That was a selling.
To be honest, I mean,
too.
144s stuff.
Between 165.
I mean, no matter what,
and
like if
144,
you're gonna sit here and tell me that you knew the market was gonna go from
this is right where they
860
stepped
to
into the Nasdaq too,
19,100.
Started to sell it in the morning in these lower 100s.
We did have big buyers at that 1970 level. We'll see if they support or not. They could be trapped potentially.
The longs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be potential longs getting trapped here.
About an 8-bar reversal. 3-bar reversal. What is a 3-bar reversal? They're asking. We'll get to that. Let's see how they want to. We got number 5, number 30 on the big board right here. See how they play this. They looking for a move to the downside, perhaps a pullback. In the Nasdaq, I mean Dow is strong up and to the right.
Here's a pullback
as well.
While we wait for this pullback to kind of play out here,
where does it have to
do a little recap?
Just gonna ask
067. If it closes below 067, but you know me, Hogue, I'm always preemptive.
Sometimes preemptive, right?
Here's my real money account. This is with Optimus Futures.
Candlestick closed below.
See, I took profit.
68.
I don't even want to
Here's
talk
the issue.
about
This is the issue I always struggle with is
we still locked
this candlestick just sells off and then it closes all the way down at say 19,000. Then the risk doesn't make sense because my stop loss has to be above that
because
high. But if it closes there, that's why I like to be preemptive. I'd be in short at 65.50, but then you do risk this market just holding right back.
Yeah, that was.
And I'd be going against the tip
of the day
or the tip
of
the week.
That's probably why you like to preempt them.
And then
it helps you manage the risk.
In my other
yeah, that's why I'm all for tighter risk.
This is my
lower probability.
Tradeify.
We didn't get if we seen that closer to like these 140s up near the highs of yesterday, it's a lot more.
So basically, my
we got in the middle of that. We were in the middle
I went straight to funded.
zone. We were early in the zone.
Funded live
it looks like there's a lot of people looking to
the results of that. So we're up $11,000 in my Tradeify account.
A bit. So
which is
people were. Aaron, this is your zone too, right?
I got the Apex accounts actually in the green here
as
well.
It is.
Back to it.
We're just not seeing selling activity. I mean, we're seeing some, but it's not massive.
My Apex accounts, $800 across the board there. So
we did see a larger bid.
I ain't happy about it at all. Right now.
19,064. That's where we also saw big buyers. it was for 336.
So,
but if those sellers aren't getting
blah.
rewarded, to me that signals we grind through the supply zone.
You're gonna keep going.
So the problem too is like I just
it doesn't
don't
look
want to.
like they are.
Now I know what happens if I keep
Except for
trading.
the
I'm gonna
rollback,
go
80%
FOMO.
80% short
You made
crude.
20,000
yes,
on
they are.
live accounts. What do you want? I don't
Think
know.
about it real quick here on crude though.
I think I just would have liked to have
27%
not
on the money,
sold.
so we had a big 180 with a lot
Sold
of
so
traders
early
views
on
here
that fucking
in crude.
trade. But whatever.
Average price 62.82 on
man.
those shorts.
Okay.
If only trading was easy, you know? If only.
Good example of waiting for that
That's,
candlestick to close. We're right back above those 70s.
Right back up there.
Yep.
Ugh.
So they bought the
The week.
pullback.
All right,
They got
NASDAQ
with the tip
going
of the
back
week
here
there,
into
Dakota.
the EMA again, kind of
With
bounced
the
off the
trend.
21 there on the 1 minute
Now, if you
chart.
bought that pullback, got in around
Like, is this-
19,005.
is this the shallow pullback and
maybe
then the rip?
060. Last year, 19,076.
Might be the next kind of push here, but now I just have like insane FOMO.
54.45. Last trade in the
Is
ES.
it worth it?
Again, Waller
it
coming
worth
out
it?
of nowhere and speaking. We'll see who else wants to jump in the party.
Fuck.
Go ahead, Dakota.
I was gonna say I want to see a real flush of stops if we're gonna try and get a deeper pullback. But there's a lot of
Not
people
worth
on the
it.
sidelines watching, waiting, just like we have been looking to buy this market. Like, yeah, I think we could push up higher and waiting for a pullback for an opportunity to buy. And so there's a lot of people saying, hey, this was a nice buying opportunity. We've been waiting for this market to pull back a little bit today.
You think this has anything to do with Google earnings after the close? Think somebody knows something?
Let's go.
You know,
Biggest
that was
profit
amazing,
ever
that
for
too, man.
Moneybag.
I've always got
32,000.
conspiracies up.
Fucking
It's
A.
just,
I know.
You got
I'm
some
the
bags
same
of money
way,
over there.
call it getting the tap.
Moneybag
Got
boy.
the tap. They get the tap on what it is. So again, Alphabet, Google earnings after the bell today. Make sure to tune into at the
Mr.
buzzer.
Moneybags.
Coach Paul and Coach Jay.
Well, Google's only up about 1.3% right now. Tesla, NVDA leading the way right now in the Mag 7. Tesla's up 2.8%. NVIDIA.
What's crazy is people watch this live stream
1%.
and they fucking make all this money. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
19,078 last trade in the Nasdaq. See if we're gonna
That's
push
crazy
higher
to
here.
think
Is this a
about.
bear flag? Or I'm sorry, is this a bull flag? Or are we rolling over here? That's what I'm trying to. That's what we're trying to figure out. Dakota.
I'm short.
I knew it.
I am now short 1 mini, the NASDAQ from
Absolutely
075.
just crazy, boy.
Here's the reason. Here's the reason.
NASDAQ
The fact
pushed
that
up
we
here
tried to
again
break
through
out
that
right there
80
on this
area.
100 tick chart, and we failed, and we rejected, sold all the way back off, and we're trying to break back below that main candle now. This is 1/5 the size that I normally take, but I'm willing to take the risk now. The fact that we rejected that and we failed to push up. So looking this now on the 100 tick chart, saying this is a lower high. Now, if we do start to break down below these 50s, then I can now classify this to be a lower low. So being a little bit preemptive, but that's okay. Smaller risk, risking 38 points on.
I let you guys down today, chat. I let you down. I let everybody down.
And already 14
I let
points.
everybody down.
Go to short one. NQ 19,075. 075. Last trade 065. Nothing on the tilt.
I mean, this is
Short
just
five.
5 MES
Like,
5444.
What an insane thing,
Short
right?
five,
It's so
five,
insane to think
four,
about
four,
that.
four shot.
The fact that I'm over
Yes,
here,
okay.
I'm up, I don't know,
I mean, this just looks like
$30,000,
it's trying to base out
$40,000
where
on the
rallies
day,
were.
and I'm over here like
Possibly.
being a little
You'd have-
bitch about
you'd have
it.
sharp
That's kind of
selling.
funny. That's
which
kind of
you're
funny.
Not,
you
you're
know?
not seeing in all the right now, at least all
That's kind
the
of funny.
all the sellers are getting absorbed by passive buyers. But we'll see. We'll see if we get more heavy.
That's kind of
All
funny.
right, we'll see how this
chat.
plays out. You have a downside target there, Dakota?
I'm probably going to just trail this one. I mean, stretch target's going to be probably around 980s, maybe 19,000 even. There was
The
that
problem is
nice
you don't
level.
even want my signals, chat.
This
like
is
you'll
where
be
we
like,
were
guys,
selling
tell
off.
me when to buy
If
and
we're looking
sell.
at
I'm like,
this
you don't
zone
want
from
me
yesterday, where
if I just tell you, hey, look, it's a
we're
bull
stepping in
flag,
up
and
here,
then you make
guys
your
were
own
stepping
decision
in
after
right
that,
around these 19,000.
you probably do better off than
And there's also this
you know?
resistance during the afternoon.
You probably would
so
still be
there
holding
could
all
a
the way to the
nice
top.
support resistance zone. I remember this is
Don't
just
be like
one
me. Be better.
smaller position
You know,
size.
be better.
And we still could come up and
Be
run up
better
to
than
those
me.
140s and have a chance to break out, like Baron said. This is going counter trend, and with counter trend, I don't mind having a smaller size and tighter stop.
All right. Ooh, tapped on some highs.
This is very funny.
Yes, but just not with a lot of conviction.
Rips posted
Keep an eye
on
the gold.
Twitter. He's like, surround
trading
yourself with
33.20, about
unprofitable
$4 off
traders,
the
and
lows
you'll
there.
likely end up just like them. And I said, so
Oh,
like
very strong.
Topstep
All green
TV.
candles on the 5-minute. Look at the Dow.
That's that.
Yes.
I mean, was that a low blow? That's funny,
It
right?
looks like it wants to pop.
That's funny, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it wants to pop.
That's funny, right?
I was thinking about getting in if I could get an entry here, like towards these 60 level,
funny, right?
but didn't pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this one minus $200.
Oh,
Minus
nice cut.
$200.
Yeah, we had a bid, or we had active
Oh my
buyers
God.
at 19,078
Oh my god.
or 650, and it looks like they supported that. Even
Oh
even
my
if
god, this is
like,
crazy.
to me, when I see like large buyers at a certain level,
I'm on Twitter and this girl, she got her
on
nose
NASDAQ,
bit
I give it
off.
like
Her dog bit her
20 to
nose off.
40 points of room for.
And now
those
she's
buyers
like,
to
oh
hold
my
that level.
god.
And
That would be
they held
gnarly,
it down
getting your
to
nose
the
bit
50s,
off.
which within.
But then
that
she said she's
40
gonna
range.
keep the dog after. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
we
know,
hit
man.
those
But
60s
yeah,
again.
I don't know, man.
Right higher.
If my dog bit my nose off,
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
Why
if I
did I
Something about
expect
this-
it today?
Yeah, this zombie rally is a little fishy for me, Hogue.
Fucking A, NASDAQ
They're
pushing.
tiptoeing. They're just tiptoeing, making sure the coast is clear.
They just want that 19,100 break, don't they? They just want it.
82% short crude.
So
I
very
can tell
much.
they're kind of cautious with sellers.
The Bulls
buyers
are
kind of
on
cautious
a
with sellers,
fucking.
but they're
They are
grinding it
on a
out.
mission to fuck
They're
every
grinding it out.
bear
So
in the
sick of trying
butt. That is literally what they're doing.
As
Can
long
I
as there's
answer,
no news- yeah,
answer
go ahead, Hogue.
The
question?
Bulls woke
Jack.
up this morning and they were like, today we're
Princess
horny,
Pepito was
boys.
talking about the
We
iceberg
are
wars I was
fucking
talking about
horny for
earlier,
some
and they're so- they're
bears.
Stealthy, but then somebody
I took a little
sometimes
micro
just bull-
scalp
somebody
right
just
there
bulldozes the market,
from the 96s,
huge
just up
volume,
there.
spikes,
Little
just
quick
slamming
little
the tape,
scalper
goes
just to
back
put me
shorter.
up.
It reminds
All these
me,
Apex
if I had
accounts, I'm
1,000 to buy in the
1,700 across the
S&Ps,
board
it
there.
was usually not
I'm happy
held,
with
so I
that.
didn't have to, stick to the
I'll
tape.
take
They
it.
wanted it done
And then,
quiet.
like I
They
said,
wanted
in
it
my
done stealthily.
Tradeify live
But
account
as
up
a broker,
11,000.
You want to do the last 100 really bad because it
Little
makes the
breakout
first
yellow
900
thing.
look really good. So the last
The
9,
EMA,
the last 100,
I don't give
you
a
would
fuck
bid for
what
it.
anybody
Everybody
says.
would turn the other way.
I don't
and
give a
you'd
fuck
have
what
to,
anybody
really
says.
kind of pay up for that.
Look at
last
that
100.
EMA. Tell me that
And I
shit
think
don't
it's
work.
Partly.
Tell me
and
it don't
sometimes
fucking
why you'll
work.
see those tape bombs.
Tell me those
Yeah.
EMAs don't work.
An executor, executing a large order, and the last
I'm
bunch
still
of it,
only up
try and
10,000
make
in
them
my real
ugly,
account.
make the first 900 look good.
Never heard.
It's
I
funny
never
'cause,
knew
like,
that
what's a
one.
real
Hogue. That's a
account
new
now?
one.
You know,
These
is
four
this my
guys, man.
real
I'll
account
tell you
or is
what.
my
man.
Tradeify
These
account
guys look
real?
bad.
What's real? I
Didn't
don't
know that
man.
one. That's funny.
Whichever one I put the fucking,
That's first
whichever one
900.
has money in it.
Customers always hate their fill prices, but if you make the last 100 bad, they're gonna love that first 900.
Well, I think, the
I
thing
see
to
in the
focus on
chat.
here,
This
right?
is the
Let's
fourth
just-
time they've
let's-
said it. More
let's
trading,
be
less
serious here. The thing
talking.
to focus on.
Zim, I'm with you.
When do EMAs
We're
work? When
talking
do they
about
not
trading.
work? Well, if the
Wait,
market's
yeah, whatever.
chopping,
More
the
trading,
EMAs are
less
basically
talking.
Yeah,
Also,
I would
trades are being made.
If the
They're not
market's
good,
low
but they're being
range,
made.
it's stuck,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
going anywhere.
More trading,
The
less
EMAs are
talking.
absolutely just worthless.
I do have
Now,
some options.
if the
on it,
market is
so I'm waiting for
trending,
the
right?
futures
If the
entry.
market has a solid trend, there's a good target, all that stuff's lined up.
Okay, I'm just,
That's when the EMAs work,
I have 457
right? So
calls,
seeing when the
um,
EMAs,
0 DT.
I'm trying to find like a
They're
chop
up.
zone.
nice.
112.
Nice.
The-
You love those zero DTs, don't you, Baron?
when the
It's
market
your-
looks
that's
like
your bread
this,
and butter, man.
if the
Well,
EMAs look like this,
I
you're
only
kinda like,
play 0 DT.
maybe I don't want to trade with those. Maybe the
It's
EMAs aren't going to help me
Um,
much.
Most of my
because if
other
you look at
options
it, like,
plays
let's say
are,
You get rid of
they're either
the
like
candlesticks.
2
Let's
weeks
just get rid
to
of
a
the
month
candlesticks
out
here.
on.
Well, then
like,
it's like,
blue chip
well, look,
stocks, Meta.
it's
Tesla,
choppy. You got to cross. You got to cross.
sort of
You
thing.
gotta
I'll trade
cross. You have
TLT as
1,
well
2,
sometimes,
3
but that's
crosses.
typically like a
This
2-month
whole level
expiration
here,
for me.
it's just hard to trade. This is
That moves
like
so
3
slow.
hours or 2 hours basically. when the market's chopping
Still
around,
grinding higher here.
EMAs are really going nowhere.
54.60. Are
that
we
might
still
be
on
a
this,
good
Jack?
time to
Or was
just
out?
not
No,
take
no,
a
no,
trade.
no. We've been out for
And
a
then
while.
guess what happens?
Okay.
When the market starts
Be nice in the
trending,
chat. I'm just goofing.
Look at how
I'm with
nice
you,
the
Nazi.
EMAs
More trading, less.
Wow.
Just kidding.
And what's even
They are.
crazier
It's
is,
a pro ball traders right here. Number 30, number
look at that.
on the
We
big
had a
board, number 5 on the
cross
big board. We're talking
right
out
there.
the
So we
trades
crossed.
before they
We
take
did
them.
not cross here into
Thinking
open,
it
but
out,
we did
thinking out
cross
loud.
earlier.
You don't get this very
And then this move
much
has just
anywhere
been
out
look
there.
at the
So
EMAs now.
trust me, they're not
NASDAQ
gonna,
still going
Not
higher.
a piano bar. They
You
don't
get
take
it.
requests.
Into the 115s now.
You get it in my live streams.
So it's
My
just,
daily
you
life
know,
streams.
it's a learning
that?
process. We're learning.
talking
We're
more
looking.
trading.
In my Discord, bro.
Look at that. Still, fuck me.
I talk them out. I talk them out. The trades.
We're talking about
every
here,
breakout,
but
continuing to go.
can't talk too much.
Nice
Barry,
work,
'cause
everybody in the chat.
I want you to click
Who's
buttons.
making money today?
I'm kidding.
Who's
Nazi.
making
Stay
money?
tuned.
Look at the buttons.
Look at the buttons right. All right.
Who's making
Look at
money
the short. I
today,
click it
Jack?
along.
Piano bar.
JD, get in here, man. Get in here.
Who's making
P&Ls
the
and payouts.
money
We saw. I
today?
feel one big
Who's
P&L
making
from
the money,
yesterday.
chat? 11,000.
Some big ones today. Go, come on in, JD. What are we
The
looking at?
chat's making fucking money.
What's up, guys? Yeah, we did have a
my
decent
God.
decent amount of P&Ls yesterday. Let's take a look at those live funded P&Ls real quick.
What are you doing?
Up at the top there, we've got Wazirac number 23 on the big board. Trading the MNQ, the NQ, and the ES. Pulled $6,000 out of the micro NASDAQ.
Fuck it, A,
20,713 out of the NASDAQ.
Fuck
and,
it, A, boys.
$17,300
Don't forget.
out of the
Don't forget where you come
S&P.
from. Don't ever forget where you
$44,024 in
came
total profits
from.
for Wazirac
I used
yesterday.
to work fucking 40
Then we've got
hours
UA.
a week,
UA's number
making
24 on the
fucking
big board.
500, 400
23 and
bucks a
24
week.
on the top two there.
And now-
pulled $15,000
now,
out of the NASDAQ
I
yesterday.
make that.
Indra
in a
also
minute.
trading the NASDAQ, $14,700. SEMA trading the
Let's
Dow.
fucking go.
Mini Dow,
I don't care what anybody
for
says.
SEMA. And Daniil.
Everybody that
Trading the
everyone who wants to
NASDAQ,
talk shit, they can go get fucked.
$12,115.
People that show up every day, the people that put
Throw
in the work,
115.
the people
Go
that are
to
actually here trying to make
no.
money. Guess what?
Let me interrupt.
What ends up happening?
Couple
What
players
ends
on the
up
big
happening?
board
Guess
taking
what?
big
They
chunks
make
out of the markets
fucking
yesterday.
money. Right? It's crazy.
All right.
It's a
Payouts.
crazy idea, right? It's fucking crazy that
These are
there
some
are people
decent
out there
numbers,
who
Really?
watch this live stream.
see.
They don't fucking complain.
Real
Real quick
They
here,
don't
we've
bitch.
got
They don't
we got
talk shit.
natural gas
They
coming
just
up here in
fucking
about 5
trade.
minutes.
What you got?
Thank you, buddy.
Look at this.
We got
Hamburger,
Rosalind,
give me this.
$61,000
Money,
payout
money, get us outta
yesterday.
here.
Ming there,
Get outta here,
number
then. I got no
16
time to
on the
fake
big
money. I
board.
got real money.
$43,000 for
Are you supposed to be
Ming.
filming?
Cindy, 13,858, Anna,
Where's my reels at?
12,500,
I need
and
more
Rudy,
boobies.
$9,845.
More booby reels.
Wow.
Big shout out to these
They're gonna wipe his
traders
butt with
lining their
$100
pockets
bills.
with money pulled out of the live markets.
But again, guys, like
Great stuff.
if you show up every day, you put in the work, you put in the effort,
Thank you,
you
JD.
will end up
grand.
finding success.
What'd you do with
right?
61
It will.
grand?
It will happen.
Today,
The problem
What would
is
I do with
all-
61
all
grand
you ever
today?
do
What would
Put
I
it
do
away,
with
buy
buy
is
another
you
61
Sienna.
complain and you cry.
Buy
And
another
you say,
Sienna.
trading sucks. Trading's
What would I do
hard.
with
It
61
never
today?
works. Then that's all you're gonna get.
Question.
Buy some
Right? That is all you're gonna ever get. You're just
Oh,
gonna get no
yeah.
results.
Yeah, buy some gold.
Trading is one of those things where you have to like
Put it all on
you gotta
red.
believe,
Walk into
right? Like, you really gotta
Caesars and just put it all on red.
You gotta believe that you can do it. I know it sounds crazy to like believe, but yes,
It's just grinding
There is a
higher here.
very
We are just
powerful
grinding higher. Look
right?
at
And
this thing.
it's funny because if you guys have been
62.
watching the stream, if you've been
We're
watching
getting
for a
selling in
few
the
months,
markets going
few
higher
weeks,
too,
or whatever it is,
which typically,
you know,
like,
if
that-
you go
that
if we
tells
go
you
back
that
2 weeks ago,
all the it's
where
it's
was
just
I
passive
at? Right,
buying,
mentally, I
It's
was just not
it's
in
a
a
lot
good
of passive
spot.
buying. That's
I'll be
what
honest,
the
like
market-
I talked about it. I was like, man, it's like no matter what I
think those
do, I just
longs,
cannot.
They
You know,
know.
I just can't put a good trade on.
Yeah, they know that they're
And
just
I was
tiptoeing
going
higher.
through it, right? Like I was
Everyone's
going
looking over their
through that
shoulder. Who's
bullshit.
going to sell first? Who's going to sell
But
first?
guess what? Like
Me.
I just kept showing up. Right? I just
was
kept
the first
showing
one.
up.
You
I
wanna
kept
be-
coming back.
Look at this, just
Step
grinding
up,
higher.
elevate down.
You know?
Yeah,
and that was
zombie
a,
There's gonna
rally
be
in-
bad days. There's
zombie
gonna be
rally full
good
effect right
days.
now.
There's gonna be days where
that
you're
was a
gonna be
scalp
so
for me,
fucking
just so
mad,
everyone
and
knows.
You're
I'm
gonna
not
be
still.
pissed.
I'm
you're
not
gonna
short
hate it,
still.
and you're gonna want to
Dude,
fucking
that-
stop. But those are the fucking those are the days where
Yeah,
you're really like
these
those are the
5-minute charts
days where
just,
I'm looking
you
for
know
these.
things start
oh,
actually
40s.
clicking. Because like you got to go through that bullshit.
Linking
Because if
Vegas
every day was
is the
fucking, if the
first.
market
We
was
are
good
in
every single
zombie rally
day,
mode right now.
everybody would
54,
make money, right? And it was
66 on the opening bell here
NASDAQ's still
in
pushing
the New
up
York
here
opening
off
bell.
that
We are
little
around
EMA.
54.03. We are up about 60
Yeah.
points off of the opening
Yesterday's
bell
high
in
coming
the
up.
S&Ps. Look at the
And again,
NASDAQ
there's
on the
some really
opening
good
bell. We were
traders in the
trading
chat. There's guys in the chat all the time.
18,876
that are calling out really good levels,
high,
talking about ideas.
144.5. This is where
Right?
the
Like,
sellers
that's the
came in
thing.
yesterday.
That's what it's.
About
That's what this
250
whole thing
points
is
in
about.
The
BDH.
yeah, take a look at
it's
gold.
place
Gold's turned around to the
for people with
upside
big
here,
risk
up about $10.
go
Let's see if the
swing
sellers
around,
want to come in the
you know?
equities
We're
and see if that
We're
play
an equal opportunity employer.
goes
Those
down
ice
You have to
here.
have a
orders
big dick
need to persist as
to
the market
join.
it was kept pushing lower. There's a lot of trap shorts down there.
Yeah, we got 71% long Nasdaq as
Okay,
well.
Tony Robbins.
You can see
Hey,
some
Ethan,
shorts coming in here.
come say it to my face, little bitch. You won't.
We still
You
have room
won't.
all the way up to 40s and higher, and then if we break out, if we can
I
still
wish. I
continue
hope
to gain
one day.
momentum,
I hope one day.
Nasdaq's not even up
Mhm.
2%.
I hope one day that all these little bitches in the chat come and
pushing higher.
come and
Gold
talk shit in real
above
life. I hope they
$10.
do.
Bucks.
I'm gonna bitch slap all of them right back to
71% long in the Nasdaq,
70%.
70% long in the ES.
Real quick, real easy.
Less
Ain't
trading,
nobody
more
got-
talking,
ain't
says
nobody
Connor.
got
We
hands
just
like
can't
this.
fake anyone happen around here. What do you want us to do? I'm just joking.
Done.
Hey, Andre. Three Lines got a question. What makes
I was a black belt in
what makes a
Taekwondo
zombie
growing up.
rally,
All right,
in your opinion?
sit your asses down.
Kind of like what
boy.
Baron was saying, just passive buying, just
Sit
creeping higher, creeping
down,
higher. It's
boy.
not.
Oh my
Let's
fucking
get shot
God,
out of a
this market
cannon.
is just
It's
going higher and higher.
just consistency.
Yesterday's high
All
is
the candles
coming
in the
up.
5 minute.
The high there,
the same.
165s.
And just got grinding higher after every 5 minutes. Just
165s.
chugging, and like passive buying, as Baron said. We saw that pullback come in about 4 candles ago, and the buyers just stepped back in. So
Thank you.
we got a trend going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, natural gas just hit the wire here right now. They were looking at 75 billion
This
cubic
FOMO
feet,
is-
coming in at 88
It's
billion
real.
cubic feet.
I'm gonna have to,
Smart
like-
natural
I'm
gas.
gonna have to just turn off
Thank
the
you,
computer and
Andre.
I'm gonna have to walk
Thank
away
you.
and go hide somewhere because I
Call it a
just
trickle
can't be
bid,
looking
you
at this
know.
chart no longer.
Love this industry.
Trickle bid.
5 different ways to call it
What
the
does the
same
BDH
thing.
stand for?
5 different ways to say the same thing in this industry.
Sir?
Trickle bid.
We're into those 40s
Trickle
now.